Today I'm going to be installing these fog lights in this 2005 Nissan Frontier. Now this will work all the way up to your models up to 2023 or 2024 I believe. And it's just difference between a metal bumper and a plastic bumper, but there's a few little slight differences. But basically these will plug right into some wiring harnesses that are existing in the vehicle already. And after I install these, all I'm going to have to do is install a new switch controller that's for the turn signals, where when you turn on the lights you can also turn on the fog lights as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, after you jack the vehicle up, remove the tire and expose this section of it. You're going to have to remove the front fender plastic. That can easily be done. And I actually have cut mine out already because I put some bigger tires on here. But what you can see here is this is the location where the fog lights would be. But if you look straight above it, lo and behold, what do we got here? This is the wiring harness for what would be going and attaching to the fog lights. So we're just going to unstrap that a little bit and then connect it up and it should be good. But first we got to go ahead and remove this plastic cup. The existing fog light cover here is held in by these tabs, and all I gotta do is twist it. Looking this way, it's gonna go clockwise. There we go. And it pops right out. Next, we're gonna come in here and basically cut this tape right here. Got the tape undone, and you can see the connector here. For the next part, we're gonna be reinstalling these cups in, and it's easier to do it from the outside looking in. So next we're going to need to connect this light, and then we're going to have to put it into place. So it's pretty easy. There's only one way to do this, but you want to make sure that you push it until you hear the snap, and you want to make sure this is clocked in the light is clocked in an orientation that it's easy to, it's not overextending the wiring harness. Okay, I'm showing the top of this just to show you that this is where the screw is going to go into the top and thread, and then you're going to be threading it in. You know, this top piece is up here is going to be sitting underneath that, and then in the bottom, this bottom piece is going to be sitting behind this guy right here. So you can see that this is going to get threaded in right here. So I can go ahead and just loosely put this in first. This top piece. Okay, I got it all screwed in and bolted in here, and so this is one on the bottom, and then of course the one on the top is all the way up there. So the only way I was able to get that guy in there was to take this socket, head off 10mm, and basically do that finger tight as hard as I could. But that one I was able to torque down just a little bit. Of course, that plug-in there with wiring harness is all good to go. So here you can see exactly what it looks like with that threading in, and right there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the other side, and then I'm going to go ahead and install the turn signal fog light switch. In order to install this, we're going to have to basically remove the lower half of this steering column plastic, and there's 3 screws in here. You got one right here that you can remove, a second right here, and a third one right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off, and then I'm going to have to use some plastic prying tools and pry this off. And there's not a lot of spots to get in there, so you got to be real careful. Next, I'm going to be getting in here and trying to do use my plastic pry along this edge, and so you can see you really do need a fine edge to get in there. So once I get it started, I can actually start to use some of my other pries that I got. This one requires getting in a pretty skinny edge. There you go. So let's kind of get things started. See, again, show you how it looks. Let's get careful there. It's not right this here. And the idea is not to gash up everything here. There you go. There we go. Alright, got everything undone. Just want to do a quick comparison of these. Now, I have a 2005 Nissan Frontier, and I think 2005 and 2006 use the same type, but the most you're going to find out there are actually, a lot of times they sell them as a set, and this comes on Amazon, but I couldn't find this exact one on Amazon. I can only find this one on Amazon for the 2005. So anyways, I'll go ahead and put a link to both of them in the video description below. But this one I had to get at an actual parts store off of Amazon. But this guy should slide right in. And you can see here it has a little switch on it, where this one does not. But it's the exact same pin connector there. Exact same. Everything should just slide right in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And let's just hope that this is good to go first shot. And everything in there looks good. So nothing looks like it's going to jam it up. Let's go ahead and put it in. Nice positive click. Make sure it clicks in the bottom and the top. Alright, it goes up and down. Locks into place. So, alright, it's good to go. Okay, went ahead and turned the clicker on. And voila, I got lights. So now I have fog lights on this baby that I did not have before. And the clarity, nice and sharp. Alright, looks good. And I've already driven out in the desert with these guys, with them installed, and I didn't have that actual turn signal light switch. So that's pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to close everything back up, and put the top and bottom sealed back together, put those 3 screws on them, and I'm going to go and drive it and test it to make sure it has turn stoppage on the actual turn. Okay, so this is the signal canceling, what I'm talking about. So I'm going to turn this right turn signal on, I'm going to turn right, and after I get done turning, it should cancel out. So let's go ahead and check that. So there we go. So turned, I let off. Yep, canceled that way. So now let's go ahead and do it in the other direction. I'm just gonna do a little bit here. Let's see, turn left and cancel it out. All right. Okay, so everything checked out. We're good to go. So if you guys can, hit like and subscribe to help me out as a channel. And if you have questions, go ahead and drop them down below in the comments section. And of course, all my tools and all the parts and everything else are in the video description below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I get a little bit of a cut whenever you guys buy something. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching.